thanks for doing this. We're gonna do a standard pick a card trick, but Alicia, right? Alicia with an E?
Yes.
Excellent. Do me a favor, take the cards. We're gonna do a standard pick a card trick, but I'm not gonna do any of the work. I'm gonna have you do it all because I'm lazy. So go ahead and shuffle the cards up, give them a good mix. Make sure they're thoroughly mixed. You can look at them, make sure they're real and all. Regular deck. Perfect. All right, sounds good. Are they thoroughly mixed?
Yes.
All right, very good. So here's what I want you to do. We're gonna have you pick a card here in a second, but before we do that, actually do me a favor, just take a little or a lot and cut the card so we can get to a card. Perfect. Now, before we look at your card, I want you to think of a memory, something that makes you happy, something that's good, exciting, something that revolves around you and maybe your people, your stuff. You got something good?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind sharing what it is?
Yeah, it was one of my best friends from high school, her wedding.
Oh, a wedding.
And all the friends from high school were back together and just so fun.
Very cool. Okay, do me a favor. Take a look at your card. I want to see it. Got it? Perfect. And you can go ahead and close the cards up, shuffle them up again if you want. The reason I had you think of a memory is what we're going to do is we're going to use that excitement, the synaptic excitement in your brain to try and open up the pathways to see if I can read your mind a little bit. So you have a card in mind, yes? And you got the memory. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to, oh, it's interesting because there's a really cool connection between a wedding and your card, because typically there's a whole bunch of excitement. There's a lot of assuming it's bright and vibrant. So a red card, a diamond, and the bride is often, it's the queen for the day. So it was the queen of diamonds. Was that your card?
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Good job. Okay, so here's how it's done. In most magic tricks, there's more than one element going on to help make the magic happen. In this case, there's two elements that you really need to know about. One is misdirection, and two is the move. And I'll show you the move second, but let's talk about misdirection for a second. The reason I engage her mind in the story of the memory of something that is happy to her is to help take her mind and her linear track off the moves, off the time, off the sequence, because that makes it almost impossible, definitely harder, to reverse engineer what's happened. And that's why we call it misdirection, but it's actually the direction of attention. So I'm not saying, look over there. What I'm saying is, let's do something different with your brain power so that you forget the sequence or it's harder for you to retrain. So it's not any more difficult than doing something meaningful, asking them something of importance to them, asking them about a favorite memory, asking them what they had for lunch. Doesn't have to be anything difficult or over the top, but just something that can break the sequence in their mind. So that's why I do a memory, just to make sure that there's something of importance to them that they can then attribute that trick to later. The second thing is the move. And this is one of the simplest things. For any kind of pick a card trick, there's typically, you pick a card, they reach in, they take it out, and there's a whole bunch of shenanigans, you put it back in, blah, blah, blah. But this way I do it in their hands, and the move is very, very simple. So I have her shuffle the cards, right? She shuffle, 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 dropping cards. And then when she hands the cards back to me, I glimpse the bottom card. And it's really simple. She hands it back, I can take it back like this, so I can see it. So when she hands it to me, I can take it that way. I can gesture with the card so I can get a look at it, face to me, just asking her, hey, are the cards thoroughly mixed? And that way I get to see that bottom card. The reason that's important is it's now on bottom, and she can cut a few, she can cut a medium, she can cut a lot, because the move then comes when I take it and set this crosswise, then I do the misdirection. Think about that memory, tell me about it. What would you have for lunch? Great. Okay, now look at your card, in this case 8 of diamonds as opposed to the queen of diamonds from before. I know what this card is because I've peeked it and I've cut it back there. So then I have her take the cards, remix them up, doesn't matter, and then I reveal the card. I can go, I'm gonna just read your mind, or it's funny that that wedding situation has to do with this, the queen for a day. You can pick up on the nuance, you can do a lot of different things with it. You can reveal it however you want. I like to tag it to the memory to make it a little more meaningful. But again, the move is once you see the bottom card, and really when they hand you the cards, oftentimes as they're shuffling, they'll shuffle facing you. So before they're done handing you the card, you're seeing it. So you take the cards, you don't have to do anything. But if they are shuffling and it's face down, you can take the cards this way and just gesture. And as you turn this way, I mean, it's not hard. You don't have to make a big deal of it. Just take the cards, get a glimpse of it, perfect, set them down, and then when they cut, and you complete that cut, we don't actually fully complete it. You just put it there crosswise, then you show them, because it looks like now it comes from the middle of the deck, and you put it back on, and it seems like it came from the middle, it's in the middle, I know the card, whatever it was, in that case, 8 of spades, I can then reveal it in a way that's profound and amazing. Have fun with it, practice it a bunch of times, and then perform it, because that's what will make it really strong, and you'll be able to really impress your friends with it if you practice it a little bit first. Good luck out there and have fun. Thanks.